Well, welcome to Can't Face the MMA. I'm gonna go through these picks real quick. Um, Definitely gonna go through these real quick. I know last week I had a few picks. Well, I had like probably like two or three that was off. The rest of them hit though. So this week we're gonna see what goes on, man. The first couple I had down already as far as decisions all the way. So we're gonna see. But I'm gonna pull up this other screen and we're gonna go through these picks real quick. Give a quick breakdown of what I see. Everybody coming in, you could like and subscribe. Let's try to go through this real quick. All right. We got Luana Federo going against CF Pennington. From what I seen from Luana, she has skills. She's able to put it together. As far as in the stand up, the grappling is not really all that impressive, but from her, just lack tenacity as far as for me. It's like the aggressiveness, tenacity. She's not really a dog like that. Pennington, she's really a dog. She comes to fight all the time. Not really relaxed in the ring, in the cage, and she brings some kind of authority to the ring. To the cage. But with Pinedo, I don't know, man. I was leaning towards her in the beginning, but don't really feel like she brings that edge and that it factor. I think she is dangerous as far as the skills and being able to put it together. It can always be somebody's day. So she'll be able to keep it close, but so that's something you could look towards. Her keeping it close as far as like a spread situation, or good day. So I know a lot of people sometimes they look at the first fight and they say, I'm not too sure about that one. You can lean towards a spread in that situation. But I think Pennington gonna be able to take this one off. And I'll go ahead and just select these. I had the first like four already put together, but I wasn't really thinking. But Pennington decision, that's really what I was looking at. In this fight, Hyun Sung Park against Carlos Hernandez, it's gonna be a good fight. Both of these guys are really trying to establish themselves as, good names in the UFC. But I think that Park, he's a good all around talent, to be honest with you. He can do everything well. I didn't really see anything as far as his performances before that made me not want to pick him in this situation. He's actually the guy that most people will want to lean towards in this fight just because of how dangerous he's been in the past. But I think in this fight, Carlos Hernandez is actually somebody I've leaned towards because I don't know. It's just a couple of things I've seen as far as when he's been tested and how he's kind of weathered the storm a lot of times. And also, he was like a machine in certain situations where he was supposed to like fall off or get combobulated a little bit, but I don't think he did. And with Park, I've seen Park in situations where, he just got out wrestled real bad a couple of times where it seemed like he just didn't have any kind of even a guy who's not a grappler, or have a good ground game. It's just something about, once you hit that ground, you're a different type of fighter. Not only for your talent, just your mindset. And some guys that don't have good takedown defense, ground game. When they hit that ground, it's just something. It's like hot water. You know what I'm saying? They just don't want to be there. And I just don't see certain things. I see if it goes to the ground, Park can make some things happen and dominate a round or two on the ground possibly, but just that tenacity I seen, I didn't like it. I really didn't. And I think Hernandez, he already has that edge standing up because he's just that aggressive. I think the hands, the accuracy, punch for punch, I think he'll be able to get Park. I don't know about as far as the other things that match up well, but as far as a lot of ways, ground, standing up, definitely would lean towards Hernandez. I think that this fight could possibly go the distance, so I'll lean towards that. With Gomes, I was actually versus Elise Reed. You know, Reed isn't a bad fighter. You know, they have her low as far as the odds, but she's somebody who can go out here and make some things happen, keep it close. I've seen Gomes kind of coast through a couple of fights, and when a couple of things aren't working, it's kind of like just I don't got anything else to go to. So, but she's a very good talent though. She knows how to put things together. She'll knock you out, and a lot of other things as well. So, I think in this fight, I was leaning towards knockout. But if you're somebody who, could be, Elise is a fighter who could take it to decision. But I mean, if you feel like the odds or something, maybe you can play with a knockout on this situation. But I had it knockout, but you know, it just all depends, to be honest with you, the way it goes. But I had it knockout, so that's what I'm gonna go with as far as how I feel she can get a knockout. But I've seen Gomes let a couple of fighters slip through the cracks, and this could be one of those situations. Reed probably could find herself in a situation where she's trying to survive, or she's making the fight, taking the fight to Gomes. So you never know, but I think Gomes could be able to put her in a couple of fist fights, you know, where, especially standing up, if it goes to the ground, then, you know, anything is possible as far as submission. But I don't know, man. I can see Gomes going out there and choking Reed. You know, that could be an easy situation where they scramble, she hit her, she drops to the ground. You know, goes for a takedown, probably Reed does, and she gets behind her, rear naked choke, whatever. Could be anything. So, guillotine, anything can happen. So, I don't know. It could be a submission. So I would just, in this fight, I mean, you could go a certain situation, but I was leaning towards knockout just because, you know, that could be just the easiest way for Gomes. But I was thinking more so knockout, so that's what I'm gonna go with. What round? I'll probably say the second, but kind of not too sure on that one. But I'll just say the second as far as what round it is. First round, I think Reed could probably squirm her way out of certain situations. Second, but you know, if it's over 1.5, I think it's probably at this point 2.5. So I don't know, under 2.5 could be dicey. But that could be the situation somebody looks at. But in that situation, you could just lead with Gomes if you want to just have a sure pick, because it can be any kind of way that happens in this fight. But knockout definitely is what came to mind to me. Luana Santos versus Ternara Lisboa. In this fight, I was leaning towards Lisboa. She's a very tall fighter, things well. Santos, she has a very good striking ability, but Lisboa does a lot of good things all over the place. You know, she's a lot more well-rounded, I would say. But Luanda is she's more strictly just, her striking ability, I would say, is strong suit between the two of them. So that's where most people kind of lean towards. And she has a good right hand. She lands the right hand, can be very dangerous. Lisboa, she gets a little winded at times. Kind of slows down a little bit. I can see her taking a lot of these shots, fighting to the end, being tough, covering the spread as far as the plus 3.5. That could be a situation. Like this fight, probably the first 2 fights. I don't know about the Reed fight for sure, but the first 2 fights and this Lisboa fight, all the plus 3.5s could probably be covered. So that's something that a person could go back and think about. But all those could be covered in this first couple of fights. So except the Gomes and Reed, that'll be a tough one. But in this fight, I think it'll be decision. I think these women are going to fight to the end. It's going to be tough. Lisboa got a lot of size, and if she comes out and she's on fire, she could really surprise Santos. It's a very tough. I had Lisboa, but I'm going to go with Santos on this one, decision. Now, in this one, between Connor Matthews and Yadier Daivari, I don't know, man. Yadier, I feel like he's a good fighter. He's actually a very good fighter, but in this situation, I just think Matthews is a guy who can possibly edge it a little better. Between these guys, I just think so. I think Matthews can really put these rounds together against a guy like this. And, Yadier is the favorite, huge favorite. Well, I think Connor Matthews is game, though, man. I think he really, all around, can mix it up and give Yadier some problems. So, in this fight, I was definitely going to lean with Connor Matthews. And I think it's going to be a tough fight, not going to be easy. So, I would say it's a decision, but, anything could happen, man. I would say it's a decision, but anything could happen. So next fight, Jared Gordon versus Thiago Moises. This is gonna be a very good fight. I think Thiago was taking some tough losses over the last couple of years, but still a tough fighter. And Jared Gordon, he's has a surprise win. We know about the Pemberton situation and him trying to stay afloat after that debacle, but Jared Gordon's still a beast, still can put it together. It's not really an easy fight for anybody. In this fight, it's gonna be a very tough fight for Thiago. I think that Gordon's striking ability is gonna be tough for Thiago. I think he's gonna have him on the back foot. Thiago's gonna try to use a lot of jiu-jitsu and different things like that to try to slow down Gordon, but I think Gordon is gonna give him a lot of problems in this fight. It could be between decision. It could be between decision and knockout. If I had to think, I'm thinking more so knockout, but it could be towards decision, but something's telling me knockout, so I think I'll go with that. Second round isn't a bad round. I think second round with a knockout. Third is possible, but I think second is definitely where the knockout can come. But anything can happen, man. This hit the ground. But I would definitely go with Gordon, just straight across bet. If you was to put a bet down, just straight Jared Gordon. It doesn't have to be the knockout. Could be a decision, but definitely would go with just the money line. Thais Camilo versus Gabe Green. Green has been out for a while, what 2 years? So taking some tough losses over the years. I think Gabe Green is dangerous in this fight. Him having a long layoff and coming back hungry, he's dangerous. Canelo is the favorite, and this is the guy you should go with. He has the same kind of capabilities as Green. He's a lot more he's a lot more rounded fighter, all around better fighter, as far as skill set. But maybe Green is a lot better striker. Who knows? He puts himself in vulnerable positions as far as striking, but that's where the problem is. You know, Canelo is he takes his time. He doesn't really rush in these fights to try to, you know, put himself in harm's way. But I definitely think he can come out here with a knockout. But I think the knockout possibly won't come in the first 2 rounds. It'll possibly be in the 3rd round. Could be wrong about that. It could be first round. You know, Gabe Green has been out a long time. But I'm going to go with 3rd round knockout. I would say a submission, but I can see it being a knockout. And I'm just going through these. You know, I really haven't thought much about the decisions as far as the fights, but I'm definitely going through these, you know, in a good way. Julian Erosa versus Luqueza Costa. And I wanted to go with Costa, man, but I want to go with Costa, but I think I'm going to go with Erosa on this one. I think that he's a better fighter just overall. Right now, you know what I'm saying? Not just for our skill set, but right now, Erosa is he's in his stride right now. He's in his prime. He's in that stage where, you know, when a guy like Cowboy Cerrone, guys couldn't really they couldn't be stopped at certain points. So I think he's at that certain point in his career right now where he's definitely dominating. And to be honest with you, I wasn't really thinking about as far as the decisions around the fight. But I think with a guy like Rosa, you can get him with you can get Costa on the ground and make some things happen. I think standing up, he could drop him, but I think when he gets dropped, that's where the fight's just going to be starting. And I think Rosa's going to try to go for a submission rather than a knockout. I think Costa's going to be a little squirmy, and he's going to have to try to go for a stoppage, and I think that's going to happen with a Rosa, but it's going to come with a submission. Some way, somehow, but I don't think the fight is going to be as stand-up-ish as far as dominating as we'll think. But I'll go with Rosa submission. I'll say 3rd round. Noserton, Ozhibov and Dustin Stolfus. It's gonna be a good fight. I think Stolfus is a guy that I was actually leaning towards early on. I thought Stolfus was the better matchup in this. And then I had to look at certain things, and I think that Nurzulton is better, well-rounded fighter. And at this time right now, he's had enough experience in certain fights where he'll be able to come in and dictate how he wants this fight to go with Stolfus. I think in the past he's kind of just went along with certain ways a fight would go and play cat and mouse, but I think he's going to try to come out here and dictate things with Stolfus. And you know, it's going to be dangerous, man. I think he'll be able to go out here. Don't know as far as how this could go. It could end up in the 2nd round. So I'm going to say 2nd round. I'm going to say 2nd round knockout. And it'll be Nurzulton with a 2nd round knockout. I think that's how the fight will go. Sadiq Youssef versus Marion Santos. This is a guy I picked recently, Santos, in his last fight. And man, I kind of had rushed on that pick. I didn't get to look at the matchup as well as I should have. Cause I think it was his brothers that was on the card. So it was one Santos, another one. I think he was the third one. And the second one lost. No, I think the second one won, the first one lost. Something, I forgot what happened. But when it got down to him, it was like, whoa. And his fight didn't go well either. Not only did it not go well, a lot of people feel like he lost. I bet on him and thought he lost. And in this situation with Yusuf, he's going out with a guy who possibly is more dangerous than the last guy. And I think he's going to be able to put it together, keep it close. Yusuf kind of tends to slow down as the rounds go on. I think Santos will be able to close the distance late, and he'll have the fight at a scary point. I think he may fall short. It's a very dangerous pick right here because Santos could possibly come out here and return to natural form as far as the way he was before this situation. But Yusuf is not an easy fight. And I can say that his back is against the wall more than Santos is. So I'm going to go with Yusuf in the decision with this fight. So we got Paul Craig versus Rudolph Vieto. It's gonna be a good fight, man. I don't know. I wanted to lean towards a submission in this fight, but I feel like Paul Craig, he's gonna keep this fight on the feet, straight action, and I think Bellator is gonna have to try to go out here and get a stoppage, and he's going to press early, and I think that he possibly will not try to let this fight go long like he's had in the past. I think he's had a draw recently. I think he's going to try to pressure this guy, try to really put some pressure on him. I know Paul Craig is going to come out and try to be ferocious as well. He's not going to try to let him dominate him in the first round. But with that being said, I think that Rodolfo was going to come out and try to land a big right hand and on Paul Craig, try to get it to the ground, maybe scramble, but it might lead to a ground and pound. And I'm going to have Bellator go with a first round KO. You got Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales. It's going to be a very, very dangerous fight right here. Morales and Burns. This is a very, you can say, lopsided main event. A lot of people feel like Burns is a big underdog. I'm talking about a huge underdog, way bigger than what he should be. And Morales is a huge favorite in this fight. And with Burns, he has a lot of experience. Morales, he doesn't have as much experience as a guy like Burns. So people are looking at that and saying maybe he's not prepared or ready yet. They're saying maybe he's not prepared or ready yet, but from what I've seen, we definitely gonna try to see, as far as this style matchup. I know Gilbert Burns is a guy that I was leaning towards, but I don't know, man. As far as the knockout decision, submission, that's where I kind of get mixed up with this fight. I can see it going decision, but man, a submission and decision cannot be counted out. But Morales is definitely the heavy favorite for a reason, most definitely. But I'm gonna be real, he can get touched. Like that's something I have seen already. He definitely can get touched. So, in that situation, I don't know, man. You can go with a sub, maybe. You could maybe go with a sub, but I don't know, man. In this situation, I can see Gilbert Burns getting a sub. I mean, punch for punch, he can do that too. Decision, he can do that too, but I see a submission in my mind, so that's what I'm gonna go with. But I would just go with the money line, probably anybody else. But I see a submission in my mind. Possibly I'll say third round. Between third and fourth round. Between third and fourth round. I'm gonna go with the fourth round. Fourth round submission. Yep, I'm gonna go with fourth round submission. Definitely gonna go with that. I know people looking like, man, what is this guy doing? He doesn't know what he's doing. Bro, trust me, I've been hitting a lot lately. So, if they tune in and check it out, that's cool. If they don't, that's cool too. But like and subscribe.